Oh, welcome back, guys. Drones went straight to #1, so it's a big comeback. How are you?
Great, yes. Very excited to be back in Italy and back on tour again. We're really enjoying playing this album because a lot of the songs are really good live songs, really rocking, get the crowd going and everything. And but we're particularly excited to end we're doing festivals and we're finishing today in Rome, which is one of our favorite places to play, yeah.
Drones is a politically charged record. So when did you choose to write a record about politics and drones? I mean, there's been any particular episode who lets you think to write those things?
Yeah. I think I've just reading a lot about drones and what they've been doing. There was one particular episode. You asked one particular episode. There was I think it was an American person who got killed in Yemen, which is obviously illegal. But they were killed with a drone, and I found that to be like quite strange. Because obviously these drones are now kind of breaking laws, and drones I think represent sort of technology crossing the line of what things that we've been afraid of for many decades. The drone is the one thing which is starting to make it real. And if you mix those things with artificial intelligence, then obviously it could become very dangerous in the future.
So with drones and the subsequent tour, Muse got back to a power trio. So did you were a little bit too much influenced? Did you feel a little bit too much influenced by electronical sounds in the previously album?
I think we had experimented quite a bit with electronics, symphonies, different instrumentation and stuff like that previously, and we, this time round, like the, we kind of, I suppose the environment that we kind of got the songs together, rehearsed the songs, and wrote the songs, I suppose, was like in a rehearsal environment with the three of us playing together. So I think, just by its very nature, the tracks sounded, were a bit more stripped back. They sounded a little bit more organic, a bit rawer, and naturally, a little heavier and a bit more kind of rock, because it was just the three of us playing. Where, the previous times where we had experimented with the electronics and the orchestras, it was very much like in a studio environment. So the tracks were built in the studio. You'd layer up little bits, go back and listen, layer them up, and then it's finished. So this time round we kind of did it, I suppose the process was more like how we used to do it, which is rehearse the songs together, get to know them very, very well, refine them, then go in the studio and go and record them. So yeah, that process ends up for us being a bit more organic sounding.
Guys, we were a showcase of yours a lot of years ago, 2001, in Milan, Magazzini Generali, just before the Origin of a Symmetry out. And we remember it was massive, just three of you, and the feeling that the new big band, very big band, was coming out. So what do you remember of that years?
Which gig? 2001 magazine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Press release.
Yeah, I remember that feeling of excitement, and you can feel a lot of the venues were small, people were trying to get in, and so you had that feeling of like being very wanted, which was quite exciting, but also a little bit overwhelming, So and we we had a lot of parties back then, we had a lot. We were kind of having a good time all the time, and it was, and because we were not like famous people, we were just normal people, and so we were socializing with the people in the concerts, we were having parties and stuff. So I remember it being a very, very social time and a good time, yeah. And I also remember my first girl, my second serious girlfriend, yeah. I met there that night, yeah, Italian one, yeah. I met her there, yeah.
So, guys, how do you react with bad reviews like Q ones or Pitchfork ones that say, "Our Muse were better before" and blah blah blah?
Everybody has an opinion about everything. You can't please everybody, of course. So I don't know. I mean, some people like it, some people don't. I think everything we've done has that reaction. I think some albums have been very appealing to people which are not so much into rock music. Like the first album, I think, attracted people which were more into songwriting and emotional things, and I think maybe albums like Absolution maybe had more rock, So I think when we made that transition, I remember that time we alienated some people who preferred the softer, more emotional music, But we gained kind of other fans which are more into rock, you know. So, and then obviously when we did songs like Undisclosed Desires or Supermassive Black Hole, also Madness as well. These songs are more like pop, electronic, and again we kind of lost some people that liked rock, you know. So everything we do, we gain someone and we lose someone, you know. So we become used to that. Yeah.
Yeah, but last time Muse were in Rome, you recorded a live show at the Olympic Stadium. It was crazy, 70,000 people, something, a concert movie that will hand back memories of Muse at their highest. So how was the day, how were the day before that show? Do you remember a particular feeling recording that particular show in Rome?
Yeah, I was fighting with my ex all day. Yeah. So my mind was like on other things, and then the fight finished. I was like, oh, I've got to go on stage, 30 minutes, and I was like, oh, somebody loves me. And it's Rome, all of Rome. Yeah, so I was very, very excited. Yeah, we, had a great time actually. The crowd was phenomenal. I'm gonna regret that. The crowd.
Perfect timing for a domestic, argument, isn't it? Right before a massive gig. I think we were all really excited. Other than that, other than so that kind of thing. But yeah, I mean, because we had to prepare the show and think about it quite a lot because we were filming it, and think about have kind of meetings and think about how we were actually going to film it with the director and this and that, and try and make it look good. So yeah, it was just like this kind of, I suppose, yeah, just a really high, a big high and a lot of excitement. And when we walked out on stage, as all the Italian crowds are, they just kind of went crazy and they were so loud. And I think I really noticed that when, like the first time we played in San Siro in Milan, it was just the audience just liked to have a good time. The Italians just like to just sing along, dance, it's just like a good time. It's like a big party, rather than just a concert. It's, so yeah, I mean, yeah, but it's a great one. I'm so glad that we did actually film it, so we have that to remember it by.
And do you remember the moment you thought, we got it, we did it? I mean, is there I don't know, is there an episode where you face each other and said, okay, we got it?
Yeah, I think it's been a couple times, over the years. I think for me, maybe the first time we headlined Glastonbury, or first time we headlined Reading Festival in England. I'm not sure which was first. Which was first? Reading probably, wasn't it? And but going back to 2001, it was the first time we played a big arena concert in London Docklands Arena, and I always wanted a car called a Lotus Elise. Yeah, it's like it's an English sports car. Yeah, and just after the sound check. After the sound check, in between the sound check and the concert, I went to the shop and bought one, and I was like, yeah, I've made it. Yeah, I definitely felt like I'd made it that day, because I got this car that I've been dreaming about since I was like a little kid, But in terms of, I mean, there's been lots of concerts, I think, over the years. Wembley Stadium, of course, but we keep doing these different levels, I think, so, yeah, that was one, though, for sure.
There's a question we ask to every artist we interview, especially to the biggest one like you. Are you still nervous when a new single come out on radio? I mean, do you still check radio station waiting for your song to be broadcasted? I know it's weird to ask you.
Yeah, you're always interested to know how people react, yeah, because from the good reactions and the bad reactions, you learn something, and you improve. So I think the main reason why I check reactions is because I just like to get, to me, the reactions is what inspires me to want to write something new for the future, because I sort of respond a little bit to that, But I think in terms of radio stations, we check radio. I mean, it's always nice when you hear on the radio, especially in a foreign country, I used to live in Lago di Como, and I used to hear Muse on the radio, and I used to think, wow, this is crazy, I went in the summers, I used to go to Marotta, Marotta and Riccione, those kind of areas. Like, I used to spend like a few weeks there, and the song would come on like the beach, like a beach radio, and people would go, hey, go, my God, that's me. Yeah, so yeah, I've got lots of good memories of hearing us on the radio in Italy, especially.
Are you thinking about new record, or are you writing during the tour or not?
We're not working on anything new at the moment, but probably thinking about it though. it's you know, it's funny because like as soon as you release the album and you have like a couple of weeks of doing a few shows and, you know, playing the new stuff, even though we have more new songs to play, I don't know, it feels like as soon as the album is released, it's like, oh, finally, you know, you put all this kind of work and effort into it, and it's like your baby, and you've been like nurturing this thing, and then it's out, and then you're like, okay, then you can kind of like relax, and then I think you naturally. Well, yeah, I mean, doing the, you know, performing the shows is, you know, that's a pleasure, you know, that's a pleasure. But, you know, so we're not actively working on new music, but I think, you know, you naturally just start thinking about what you're going to do next, as kind of once the album's out, you know. We did last time as well. I remember, like when Second Law was out, it's like, right, what are we going to do next? But so we'll see. Not that we have any particular answers about what we're going to do, but it's just there in the back of your mind, you know, because you start subconsciously planning it.
So, just the last question. Would you like to say hello to our listeners and your fans on Radio 2? This is our radio, and our show is called Rock and Roll Circus.
Ciao, ciao ragazzi on Rock and Roll Circus. I'm Matt.
I'm Dom.
And we play in Muse, and we love our Italian fans.
We love them very, very much. They're amazing. We love you guys. You're a pleasure to play to.
And we can't wait to come back again next year. We're going to come back next year and play in Milan. Yeah, so we're very excited to do that.
And you're listening to Rock and Roll Circus.